All right, shalom, shalom. Just make sure I can hear myself. Shalom, Akim. Shalom. All right, shalom, shalom. All right, perfect. Shalom. First and foremost, want to give our honor and glory to Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahawashi, Bahashim, Rakakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of great millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect. Lord, when is blessed be edifying to the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians who consist of the 12 tribes of Israel, right? It's your fellow servant, Yahawah from the GMS Orlando camp. And Lord, when is blessed be edifying, okay? Forgive me, I was playing with the mic. I'm trying to make sure my voice is not too loud. Make sure everything sounds good. Forgive me. Voice is not too loud. Make sure everything sounds good. Okay, that's good. Okay, as you see the title ahead, you know, the Lord hates a lying tongue, okay? And that's simple and plain, straight to the point, the Lord hates a lying tongue, we don't need to prolong it, it's just not intended to be a long lesson. Okay, and I got this from Proverbs chapter 6, all right? Of course, in the KJV, all right? And this is verse 16. It says, these 6 things doeth the Lord Yahawah hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. Okay. It says a proud look, a lying tongue, which is what this lesson is going to be about, and hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies. So you see, that lies is noted twice in this, in this very scripture. And he that soweth discord amongst brother, because usually when you're lying, usually when you're lying, you're sowing discord, okay? And it's not all the sense, but most of the sense, all right? And your feet is swift. If you wouldn't be lying about if you was telling the truth, you wouldn't be so swift to be running towards mischief. Okay, and what are you lying about? You're lying about just foolishness. Okay, all right. But like it says here, a proud look, a lying tongue. Okay, and we got to make sure that in this ministry, man, and in Yahawashi doctrine and his truth, that we're being honest as possible. Okay, and that's what our daily lives. That's amongst the brotherhood first and foremost. But in our daily lives, in everything we do, we just keeping a sense of honesty about us, man. Not even a sense, an honest character about us. Okay, but a lying tongue, is a bad spirit because you can't get the truth out of anything, man. It reminds you of Esau. This man has buried the truth of the Israelites. He still won't lie, even though he's being made manifested. He's being made bare. He's being made to be found out a liar in a lot of things. He still won't come clean that the Israelites are the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. It's for a reason, for the Lord to ultimately set this man up for destruction. Okay, and ultimately just harden his heart as he did Pharaoh. All right, but a lying tongue, can cause, a huge domino effect. Because first off, it's deceit. Okay, it's deceit, there's deception going on. All right. And it is not backed by truth. So where does the truth come from? Okay. The Lord that's why the Lord hate these things. Okay. It says these 6 things do what the Lord hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. Okay. A proud look, a lying tongue. The Lord hates it. So those are the things that we sway from. We sway from doing, and we try to get better day and night. Especially when it comes to the brotherhood. We don't want to, be a called a liar. We don't want to be known as a liar, man. It says a good name is better than precious ointment, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, you know. Let me get that real quick. Because if you're a liar, you're constantly known as a liar. You don't have a good name. That's not something, that's not something that's gonna come up good on your record. Okay. This is Proverbs chapter 22, verse 1. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches and love and favor rather than silver and gold. Okay, so like it was that one. I thought it was a fine ointment. Okay. And Salaki on that one. But anyways, a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches. Okay, if you got the lying tongue, the lying spirit, there's nothing going to be great attached to your name. All right, and it's going to be hard to get it off your name. Okay, because brothers take pride in telling the truth within his doctrine. Okay, let me grab this real quick. I'm gonna grab this Colossians chapter 3, verse 9, and I'm gonna start up some. And in the header, as you see, it says, "Put on the new self." Okay, in the world, a lot of us used to be compulsive liars. A lot of us used to steal. Okay, a lot of us used to do all type of things that broke the law. That was part of, the punishment that we would fall under these, different kingdoms, and we forget our way, which is the way of righteousness. We would forget, the laws, that the Lord, put in place. And we would forget to do them. All right, and we would be in a land where our heritage was taken away from us, man. While in this land, we would be in a land without that identity of righteousness until the Lord had came back and restored it to us. All right, so many have ways that they might have thought was right, but it wasn't according to knowledge and wisdom and understanding of the scriptures. Okay. All right. So it says, "Put on the new self." All right. Colossians chapter 3, verse 1. "If ye then be risen with Hamashiach." Okay. And that's what's going on. The dry bones, Ezekiel 37, being risen with Hamashiach. "See those things which are above." Okay. No longer worried about the things of the world. We focused on the treasures that's laid up in a safe place for us, in heaven. Okay. "Where Hamashiach sitteth on the right hand of Yahawah. Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth." Okay. "For ye are dead," and this is the point, "and your life is hid with Hamashiach and hid with Hamashiach and power and Yahawah." Okay. Verse 4. "When Hamashiach, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory." So this is the main point. This is why we, keep an honest living, an honest character about ourselves, man. Okay, so that way we could be risen with Hamashiach and ultimately, sit on the throne judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, and these other nations. This is what we do it for, to get that, to be able to, make it on that first round. To make it on the only round. To get that salvation. From destruction and perilous times. Okay. And when I said second go round, pretty much a lot of Israelites, the 2/3, are going to be put to death, and they're going to have to get the kingdom like through the mindset of a baby, being brought from a baby all the way on up. Okay. The elect won't have to go through that. The elect is going to be the fathers. Okay. For those that have to, die and come back as a baby. All right. But that's a lesson for another day. "When Hamashiach, who is our life, shall appear," and he is our life. Okay, and he's the way of truth, everlasting life. He's the way of righteousness. Okay, "shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory." Okay, verse 5. "Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, okay, and covetousness, which is idolatry. For which things sake the wrath of Yahawah cometh on the children of disobedience." Okay. "In the which ye also walked sometime," in the which ye also walk sometime. A lot of us lived like that before coming into this truth, okay? You know, when ye lived in them. But now ye also put off all these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds. Okay, this is very important right here. It says, lie not one to another. Okay, because we are supposed to be putting on this armor of righteousness. Okay, we're supposed to be putting on this armor of righteousness to be risen with Hamashiach. When you constantly lying, that you put yourself back. Okay, and nobody's gonna trust you, man. Nobody would trust a liar. Nobody ever did trust a liar in the world, and it's not gonna happen in the truth. Okay, seeing that you have put off the old man with his deeds. So if you got that lying spirit on you, you really haven't put off the old man. Okay, there's nothing that we should have to lie to the brothers about. We just have to be honest. The only thing that we can be is honest with the brotherhood. That should be the only thought, because we've been lied to so many times in this world by plenty of females, plenty of friends and family. We've been lied to, man. So when you enter this truth, it's a breath of fresh air. The fact that these brothers are held to a certain standard, which is the law of Yahawashi. You're held at a certain standard. You got to uphold a certain standard. Okay, you can't be out there just doing what you want to do. As it says here, in verse 5, it tells you, okay, mortify therefore your members, okay, which are upon the earth, working on yourself. Verse 10, and have put on the new man, okay, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him, okay, where there is neither Greek nor Jew, circumcision nor uncircumcision, barbarian, Scythian, bond nor free, but Hamashiach is all and in all. Okay, understanding that the Lord is the one, that holds the keys to the kingdom, and we have to come in that same, mindset. Okay, of casting off this old man. Verse 12: put on therefore as the elect of Yahawah, holy and beloved, bowels of mercy, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering, forbearing one another and forgiving one another, if any man have a quarrel against any, even as Hamashiach forgave you, so also do ye. And this has to be put in practice too. Okay, this has to be put in practice right here. Let me highlight it. Okay, against any, even as Hamashiach forgave you, so also do ye. Okay, so this has to be practiced too. You can't overlook that. Verse 14, and above all things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness. Okay, and let the peace of Yahawah rule in your hearts, to the which also ye are called in one body, and be ye thankful. Okay, you are not of the body if you're constantly lying to the body. Okay, if you're constantly lying to a part of the body, man, you're not a part of that body. You are deceiving yourselves, okay, and you're waxing worse. And be thankful and be ye thankful. So we should be thankful, okay, that we are amongst the body that's held to a certain degree or a certain standard, and the Lord won't expect anything less. Okay, we should be thankful that a brother has to take the time out, and work on himself, okay, and not, just treat you with any type of, manner that he want to treat you with. He has a code. We have a blueprint that we have to follow when we deal with our neighbor. Okay, as the scriptures say, love thy neighbor, in the commandments. All right, and it also says, "Thou shalt not lie." Should have started there. All right. And straight to the point. Leviticus 19:11. It says in any version, NLT, it says, do not steal, do not deceive or cheat one another. Okay. And a lot of Jake is in the business of deceiving the brother, man. Okay. Do not steal, do not lie, do not deceive one another. Okay. And the Lord covered all angles. Okay. Going back here. Okay. It says, let the word of Hamashiach dwell in you richly in all wisdom. Okay. And guess what? It says the wisdom will not dwell in the malicious soul. Okay. Teaching and admonishing one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing with grace in your heart to the Lord Yahawah. It's like, and whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord Yahawashi, giving thanks to Yahawah and the Father by him. Okay. You know, so we have a code, we have a conduct to follow by. Okay. Now we know that the flesh wars with the spirit constantly. Okay, but it's ultimately, hey, Shalom, Shemaiah, Yahawashi, Shabrakatah. Shalom, man. Yahawashi, Shabrakatah. Let me put them on there. Hey, Shalom. Beautiful brother Shemaiah. Subscribe to that brother's page, man. GMS being clothed with humility, man. Throughout it, bro. This is a beautiful brother right now. Okay. But yeah, you know, we all, you know, where was I at? Slacking. Where was I at? I lost my place. I've been down here. And I forgot what I was saying too. I never see. I pulled up some lying scriptures here, you know, just in case I don't want to miss anything. So this is Proverbs chapter 12, verse 19. Truthful lips endure forever. Okay, the truth is what the Lord is dealing with, man. We're not dealing with lies. The era of lies is almost over. Everything that it exalts itself and has a lying tongue is going to be, you know, it's going to be quenched. It's going to be put to rest. Okay, because we in the ages of truthful lips. I should have named the title of that. You know, we are in the age of truthful lips. Okay, truthful lips endure forever, but a lying tongue lasts only a moment. Okay, you know, because it's not the truth, it won't prevail. Psalms chapter 101, verse 7. No one who practices deceit shall dwell in my house. You know, this is very important, man. You know, no one who practices deceit shall dwell in my house. No one who utters lies shall continue before my eyes. Okay, this is serious business, man. Okay, it's a serious business. You know, where we at? Didn't know if another brother was on now. Okay. Proverbs 12, verse 22. The Lord Yahawah detests lying lips, but he delights in people who are trustworthy, man, and we do too. Okay, we love when we can trust a brother. Okay, you know, when a brother is trustworthy, it's a great name to be gotten behind that, man. Okay, read Proverbs 6, Proverbs 21, verse 6. A fortune made by a lying tongue is a fleeting vapor and a deadly snare. A fortune made by a lying tongue is a fleeting vapor and a deadly snare. Now Esau made a fortune by a lying tongue. Okay, when he killed Abel, says, "Am I my brother's keeper?" Yes, you are, bitch. Okay, you know where's Abel? I don't know. All right, he told as the serpent, you know, in the garden, he told Eve, you know, you have all this power. You'll be like God. Okay, roughly paraphrasing. You know that it was nothing wrong with it. Okay, that was a lying tongue. All right. And then Esau in this time, man, you know, trying to get the birthright back, man. You know, that's a lying tongue, bro. You practicing deceit. Okay, you practicing deceit. A fortune made by a lying tongue is a fleeting vapor. Okay, that all your fortune is going to be brought to naught, and a deadly snare. Okay, and ultimately he's going to be falling into a deadly snare. But going back to this one right here, Psalms 101, verse 7, no one who practices deceit shall dwell in my house. No one who utters lies shall continue before my eyes, man. And that's a great scripture right there, man. You can wrap the lesson up on that alone. Okay. That is beautiful. Let me see. See Ephesians chapter 4, verse 25. Okay. Can I get this in let me get it in NLT. Unity in the body, as the header says right here. Beautiful. Okay. This is 25. Let me start verse 24. Put on your new nature, created to be like Yahawah, truly righteous and holy. That's our new nature. We come in His truth. We had to clean we had to clean ourselves up. The Lord cleaned ourselves up. Let me start right here. Verse 21. Since you have heard about Yahawashi and have learned the truth that comes from Him, throw off your old sinful nature and your former way of life. Okay, which is corrupted by lust and deception. Okay, instead, let the Spirit renew your thoughts and attitudes. Okay, it's a process that we have to go through. Okay, just how Esau has a process to go through with the casting couch, with Hollywood, and for them to be able to get the riches on the left-hand side. It's the same thing for Yahawashi, but in righteousness. Instead, He's allowing your body He's putting your body to the test to be a living sacrifice. You have to day and out kill that flesh. Okay? And then we are killed all the day long. Every day, brothers is working on, putting that old man down, not letting that old man rise up. As the scriptures say, let not blessed is he that let not that slack keep thy garments. Okay? And in Revelation. Okay, keep thy garments. Pretty much keep your body, keep yourself under subjection before you just let sin run rampant. Okay, you call to one body and be thankful. Let the Lord, let the word of Hamas. Am I right there? No, I don't think I'm right there. Hold on, where am I at? Okay, going back. Hold on, where am I? What am I doing? Okay, Slaki, you switched over. Okay. About lust and deception. Instead, let the Spirit renew your thoughts and attitudes, but put on your new nature, created to be like Yahawah, truly righteous and holy. Yeah. Okay. You're not going to be with the bullshit. You're not going to be with the deceit. Okay. And finding ways to get around certain situations by lying. Verse 25. So stop lying. So stop telling lies. Let us tell our neighbors the truth, for we are all parts of the same body. Okay, and if you don't have this going on, if you don't have the truth going on, you have schisms in the body. Okay, if the truth is not dwelling throughout the brotherhood, then you have a schism, because that's the only thing that's the only currency we should be running on. Okay, the only currency we should be running on is truth. Okay, how about Yahawashi? Verse 6, and don't sin by letting anger control you. Don't let the sun go down while you are still angry, for anger gives a foothold to the devil. Okay. All right, continue on, Slakia. All right. Thought I heard some over there, Slakia, y'all. But anyways, man, I think that'll suffice. That'll suffice. But anyways, we have to come in the spirit of truth. Okay, not the spirit of deception, not the spirit of lying to each other. Okay, because how can we ever move forward? Everybody just lying to each other. How can we, how can we survive in the pond of lies? You know, where the water is fucking is filthy and dirty because of the situation at hand. No, we have to be living in running water of truth. Okay, truth where the water is clear and we're all surviving off that pond. We're all surviving. We're all surviving through that water. Okay, through the truth. Okay, so yeah, hey, Lord, when this lesson was edifying. Okay, it wasn't meant to be so long, just a quick hit. Ended up dragging it out. But this is beautiful scripture right here, man. I had to put this in the title. Psalms 101, verse 7, man. No one who practices deceit shall dwell in my house. No one who utters lies shall continue before my eyes, man. Hey, this is some serious shit. It's some serious stuff, man. To what about you, man? It's serious. Okay. So with that, I'm gonna give our honor and glory to Yahawah, by Hashem, Yahawashi, by Hashem, the Karkadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elder of great millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect. Lord, when this lesson was edifying, shalom.